Have you ever considered that the secret to reclaiming your masculine vitality might be sitting right there in your spice cabinet? I'm talking about something your grandmother probably used in her kitchen every single day. Because for hundreds of men I've personally worked with, many well past their 60s, a common yellow spice has sparked changes they thought were impossible. Better circulation, renewed energy, sharper focus, and yes, improvements in the bedroom that restored their confidence. I'm Dr. Bennett, and over 3 decades of practice, I've learned something crucial. The human body responds beautifully to natural support when given the right tools. I specialize in helping mature men address concerns they'd rather not discuss openly. Declining stamina, inconsistent performance, diminished drive, and that frustrating sense of watching your vitality slip away year after year. Here's what fascinates me most. The solution doesn't always require prescription medications or invasive procedures. Sometimes nature provides exactly what we need, and we simply haven't been paying attention. The ingredient I'm referring to isn't exotic. It's turmeric. But before you dismiss this as just another health trend, understand that turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that research shows can profoundly influence blood vessel health, hormonal balance, inflammation control, and even mood regulation, all critical factors for sustained masculine performance after 60. Throughout this presentation, I'll share 8 specific mechanisms through which this golden spice supports male vitality. And toward the end, I'll reveal a powerful evening protocol one of my patients discovered that transformed his experience completely. Before we continue, if you're someone who values evidence-based natural approaches to maintaining strength and vigor as you age, please subscribe and activate notifications. I create content specifically designed for men navigating this stage of life with dignity and wisdom. If this topic interests you, comment yes below. If not, comment pass. Your feedback shapes what I share next. Let's explore the first way turmeric supports masculine health in men over 60. And it begins with something happening inside your blood vessels right now. Benefit 1. Protects endothelial function for better blood flow. Most men have never heard of their endothelium, yet it controls everything related to circulation and performance. This thin layer lining your blood vessels determines whether blood flows freely or struggles to reach its destination. When I first consulted with Raymond, he was 72, articulate, successful, but deeply troubled by something he barely whispered. "Doctor, I feel like my body has betrayed me. My mind wants one thing, but my body simply refuses to cooperate anymore." His medical history appeared unremarkable at first glance. No major cardiovascular events, no diabetes, reasonable cholesterol. But when I examined his vascular function tests, I discovered his endothelial cells were significantly impaired. They'd lost their flexibility, their responsiveness, their ability to signal blood vessels to dilate properly. This endothelial dysfunction is incredibly common after 60, yet rarely discussed. It happens gradually, silently, as oxidative stress and free radicals damage these delicate cells year after year. The result? Blood vessels that can't expand when they should, leading to weak or absent erections regardless of desire or testosterone levels. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, has a remarkable protective effect on endothelial cells. Research published in multiple cardiovascular journals demonstrates that curcumin acts as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing the free radicals that damage vessel linings. More importantly, it helps restore endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme responsible for producing the molecules that tell blood vessels to open. I suggested Raymond begin a simple routine. Golden milk before bed, made with turmeric, black pepper for absorption, and warm almond milk. 6 weeks later, he returned with a completely different demeanor. "Something fundamental has shifted," he told me. "I feel flow returning to areas that felt closed off for years. My wife has noticed, too." This restoration of endothelial function creates the foundation everything else builds upon. When your blood vessels remember how to respond properly, circulation improves everywhere, including where it matters most for intimacy. But protecting your blood vessels is only the beginning. What if I told you that chronic inflammation has been quietly sabotaging your performance for years, and turmeric addresses this problem directly? Benefit 2 reduces systemic inflammation that blocks performance. There's an invisible enemy working against masculine vitality every single day, and most men have no idea it exists. Chronic inflammation, the kind that simmers beneath the surface without obvious symptoms, slowly destroys the biological systems required for healthy sexual function. I remember William, 68, a former construction foreman with a strong build and determined attitude. During our first meeting, his frustration was palpable. "Everything feels like it's working in slow motion now, Doc. My body feels heavy, sluggish, like I'm dragging weights around constantly." His blood work revealed elevated inflammatory markers, particularly interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These inflammatory cytokines create a hostile environment throughout your cardiovascular system, making blood vessels stiff, reducing oxygen delivery, and interfering with hormone signaling. Here's the critical connection most men miss. Inflammation doesn't just affect your joints or your heart. It directly impacts erectile tissue. Chronic inflammation damages the smooth muscle cells inside the penis, reduces nitric oxide availability, and creates scar tissue that prevents proper expansion during arousal. Curcumin is one of nature's most potent anti-inflammatory compounds. Studies show it can inhibit multiple inflammatory pathways simultaneously, reducing those destructive cytokines while promoting healing throughout your vascular system. Unlike medications that might suppress inflammation with side effects, curcumin works naturally with your body's own regulatory systems. William started taking a concentrated turmeric supplement with meals, ensuring it included black pepper extract for proper absorption. Within 8 weeks, not only did his inflammatory markers decrease significantly, but he reported feeling lighter, more responsive, more alive during intimate moments with his partner. Reducing inflammation opens pathways that have been blocked, allowing your body to function as it was designed to, even after decades of wear and tear. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While inflammation blocks performance, your body also needs proper hormonal signaling to maintain drive and capability. Turmeric influences this too, in ways that surprised even me. Benefit 3. Supports healthy testosterone metabolism. One of the most frustrating conversations I have with patients goes like this. "Doctor, they tested my testosterone and said it's normal. So why do I still feel like I'm running on empty? Why has my interest in intimacy disappeared?" The answer lies in something rarely discussed: testosterone metabolism. It's not just about how much testosterone you produce, it's about what happens to that testosterone once it enters your bloodstream. I'll never forget Marcus, 65, who came to me completely deflated despite having testosterone levels within normal range. "I feel like a spectator in my own life," he confessed. "No energy, no motivation, and intimacy feels like something that happened to someone else." Here's what commonly occurs after 60. An enzyme called aromatase becomes increasingly active, especially in fat tissue. Aromatase converts your testosterone into estrogen. The more belly fat you carry, the more testosterone you lose to this conversion. Additionally, another enzyme, 5-alpha reductase, can convert testosterone into dihydrotestosterone at inefficient levels, creating hormonal imbalances that affect mood, energy, and performance. Curcumin has been shown in research to modulate both of these enzyme systems. It helps reduce excessive aromatase activity, meaning more of your testosterone remains as testosterone rather than converting to estrogen. This preservation of testosterone allows your body to maintain the hormonal environment necessary for masculine vitality. Marcus incorporated turmeric into his daily routine through a morning smoothie with ginger, black pepper, and coconut oil. 3 months later, his energy had returned, his waistline had decreased slightly, and most importantly, his drive for intimacy had awakened after being dormant for years. "I feel like myself again," he said simply. Proper testosterone metabolism isn't about artificially raising levels. It's about protecting and optimizing what you naturally produce, allowing your body to maintain the hormonal balance that supports strength, confidence, and performance. But hormones are only part of the equation. Your brain chemistry, particularly your mood and stress responses, profoundly affects intimate performance. What turmeric does for your mental state might be its most underappreciated benefit. Benefit 4. Enhances mood and reduces performance anxiety. There's a cruel paradox many men face after 60. You desire intimacy, but anxiety about performance becomes so overwhelming that your body simply shuts down. The worry itself becomes the problem, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to escape. I remember sitting across from Daniel, 70 years old, successful businessman, articulate and confident in every area of his life except one. "The moment things start to become intimate," he told me quietly, "my mind floods with doubt. What if I can't perform? What if I disappoint her? And then, of course, I can't. It's like my brain sabotages everything." This isn't weakness or psychological failure. It's neurochemistry. Chronic stress and anxiety trigger cortisol release, which directly inhibits testosterone production and constricts blood vessels. Your sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, takes over, making arousal physiologically impossible regardless of desire. Here's where turmeric offers something unexpected. It affects brain chemistry. Multiple studies have demonstrated that curcumin can increase levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which supports mood regulation and reduces anxiety. Additionally, curcumin has been shown to boost serotonin and dopamine, the neurotransmitters responsible for feelings of well-being and pleasure. Some research even suggests curcumin's effectiveness rivals certain antidepressant medications, but without the sexual side effects those drugs often create. For men struggling with performance anxiety, this neurological support can break the cycle of worry that prevents intimacy. Daniel began taking a curcumin supplement daily and practicing mindfulness techniques I taught him. Within weeks, he noticed he felt calmer generally, less reactive to stress. More importantly, when intimate situations arose, that flood of panic didn't overwhelm him. "My mind stays present now," he explained. "I'm not trapped in worry about what might go wrong." Sentence. When your brain feels calm and balanced, your body can relax into arousal naturally, without the interference of anxiety short-circuiting the process. But mental calmness is only one piece of the puzzle. Your cardiovascular system needs to respond quickly and efficiently when arousal begins. What turmeric does for blood pressure and circulation creates another layer of support. Benefit 5. Helps regulate blood pressure for reliable response. One of the most common barriers to healthy sexual function after 60 isn't talked about enough. Blood pressure irregularities. Not necessarily dangerously high blood pressure, but the kind of vascular resistance that makes rapid blood flow difficult when it's needed most. I worked with Albert, 67, whose blood pressure hovered in the prehypertensive range. Not quite high enough for medication, but definitely affecting his quality of life. "It's inconsistent, Doc," he told me. "Sometimes things work okay, other times nothing happens at all. There's no predictability anymore." Erections require a sudden, substantial increase in blood flow to the penis, sometimes a 5-fold increase within seconds. If your blood vessels are resistant, if they can't dilate quickly and fully, that rapid response simply can't occur. The result is unreliable performance that undermines confidence and intimacy. Curcumin has demonstrated blood pressure regulating properties in clinical research. It works through multiple mechanisms, improving endothelial function, reducing arterial stiffness, and enhancing nitric oxide production. Essentially, it helps blood vessels become more flexible and responsive. One study showed that curcumin supplementation improved flow-mediated dilation, a measure of how well blood vessels expand in response to increased blood flow, by significant margins in middle-aged and older adults. This improved vascular flexibility translates directly to more reliable erectile function. Albert added a turmeric tea ritual to his evenings, combined with moderate walking after dinner. 2 months later, his blood pressure readings had improved, and more importantly, he reported much more consistent performance. "It's not perfect," he said, "but I feel like my body is cooperating with me again, not fighting me." When your cardiovascular system operates efficiently, without excessive resistance, your body can deliver the blood flow necessary for firm, sustained erections when the moment is right. But blood flow alone isn't enough. The tissues receiving that blood need to be healthy and responsive. What turmeric does at the cellular level inside erectile tissue might be its most direct benefit of all. Benefit 6. Protects penile tissue from oxidative damage. There's a biological reality most men never consider. The tissues inside your penis age just like every other part of your body. Over decades, oxidative stress gradually damages the smooth muscle cells, collagen structures, and nerve endings that make erections possible. I remember Gregory, 73, who had maintained relatively good health but felt increasingly frustrated by declining function. "It's not that nothing happens," he explained carefully. "It's that everything feels diminished, weaker, less responsive than it used to be." Inside the penis, specialized tissue called corpus cavernosum contains smooth muscle cells that must relax and expand to trap blood during erections. Over time, oxidative stress from free radicals damages these cells, causing them to be replaced gradually by collagen and scar tissue, a process called fibrosis. This makes the tissue less elastic, less capable of expansion, and less responsive to arousal signals. Curcumin is a powerful antioxidant that specifically protects against this type of tissue degradation. Research shows it can reduce oxidative damage to smooth muscle cells, preserve tissue elasticity, and even promote the health of the endothelial cells lining blood vessels within erectile tissue. One animal study demonstrated that curcumin supplementation actually prevented age-related erectile dysfunction by preserving the structural integrity of penile tissue. While human studies are still emerging, the mechanism is clear. Protecting tissue from oxidative damage maintains the physical capacity for healthy function. Gregory began taking a high-quality curcumin supplement with enhanced bioavailability. Over several months, he noticed gradual improvements, not dramatic overnight changes, but a steady return of responsiveness and firmness he thought was gone forever. "It feels like my body is healing from the inside," he said. Protecting the tissue itself ensures that when blood flow arrives, those tissues can still respond appropriately, expanding and maintaining firmness throughout intimate activity. But there's still another layer to this story. Your body's ability to produce energy at the cellular level determines stamina and endurance, both generally and sexually. Turmeric influences this energy production in fascinating ways. Benefit 7. Boosts mitochondrial function for sustained stamina. One complaint I hear repeatedly from men over 60 isn't just about achieving erections, it's about maintaining them. Things start out fine, they tell me, but then I just run out of steam. It's like my body gives up halfway through. This isn't a lack of willpower or desire. It's cellular energy, or more precisely, the lack of it. Your cells produce energy in structures called mitochondria. And as we age, these cellular power plants become less efficient. This affects everything from your general vitality to your sexual stamina. I worked with Philip, 69, who described feeling energetically bankrupt during intimate moments. My mind is willing, my heart is willing, but my body just can't sustain the effort anymore. Here's what happens at the cellular level. Mitochondria generate ATP, the energy currency your cells use for every function. During sexual activity, your heart rate increases, muscles work harder, and erectile tissue requires sustained energy to maintain blood flow and firmness. If your mitochondria are struggling, that energy supply runs out quickly. Curcumin has been shown in research to support mitochondrial function through several pathways. It reduces oxidative stress within mitochondria, helps maintain the integrity of mitochondrial membranes, and may even stimulate the creation of new mitochondria, a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. One study found that curcumin supplementation improved exercise endurance in older adults, suggesting enhanced cellular energy production. While sexual stamina isn't exactly the same as exercise endurance, the underlying mechanisms overlap significantly. Philip incorporated turmeric into his diet through curry dishes several times weekly and added a concentrated supplement. Within 2 months, he noticed improvements not just in sexual stamina, but in his overall energy throughout the day. "I'm not exhausted by early evening anymore," he reported. "And when intimacy happens, I can stay present and engaged, instead of feeling like I'm fighting fatigue." 30. When your cells produce energy efficiently, your entire body performs better, including during the sustained physical and emotional connection that intimacy requires. There's one more benefit we need to discuss, and it brings together everything we've covered in a way that amplifies the effects dramatically. Benefit 8. Works synergistically with ginger for amplified effects. Throughout this presentation, I've discussed how turmeric supports masculine vitality through multiple pathways. But what if I told you there's a simple way to amplify all these effects significantly? By combining turmeric with another common kitchen spice, ginger. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols that complement curcumin's effects beautifully. Ginger has its own anti-inflammatory properties, improves circulation, enhances testosterone production, and has been used traditionally for centuries to support male vitality. I discovered this combination's power through Robert, 74, who had tried turmeric alone with modest results. When I suggested adding fresh ginger to his routine, something remarkable happened. "It's like the 2 ingredients unlocked something together," he told me during a follow-up. Individually, they helped, but combined, I experienced changes I honestly didn't think were possible anymore. Research supports this synergy. Studies show that combining curcumin with ginger compounds enhances the bioavailability and effectiveness of both. They work through complementary mechanisms, addressing inflammation, circulation, hormonal balance, and cellular energy simultaneously. The evening protocol I mentioned earlier involves this exact combination. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of fresh grated ginger, mixed into warm coconut milk with a pinch of black pepper and a touch of honey. Consumed slowly about an hour before bed. This isn't a magic formula, but for many men, This simple ritual has created noticeable improvements within weeks. Better sleep quality, enhanced morning vitality, improved circulation, and yes, renewed confidence in intimate situations. Robert has maintained this routine for over a year now. "It's become something I look forward to," he said, "and more importantly, I feel like I've reclaimed a part of myself I thought was gone." The combination of turmeric and ginger, supported by the other beneficial practices we've discussed, creates a comprehensive natural approach to maintaining masculine vitality well into your later years. The combination I've shown you today addresses circulation, energy, inflammation, and vitality simultaneously, not through pharmaceutical intervention, but through nutritional support that works with your body's natural systems. This content is for general knowledge only. It doesn't replace evaluation by a qualified healthcare professional. If you have concerns or symptoms, please consult your specialist. If this presentation provided value, comment "I want it" below.